Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Ever since I heard the news that Ruby Rose Turner was not going to be a part of Descendants 5, I have had my reciprocal lights on pink every night, and I lie on my bed with my eyes open looking at the stars, crying my eyes out because I don't know for the life of me how they can do Descendants 5 without Ruby. You guys are going to have to forgive me because I have the biggest crush in the world on Ruby Rose Turner because of just how kind the character Bridget was. And I know how some of you may feel about that. You're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, it's just a character, it's just a show. I know, but there was just something about Ruby that she was so kind, and she caught my attention every single time, no matter what she did for the Descendants franchise. Even when they did the PR for the Descendants franchise, for the Rise of Red, she was so kind. I honestly think she is the sweetest soul that I have ever had the privilege of talking about when it came to Descendants, ever. And many of you may remember me for having been the biggest Dove Cameron fan and supporter in the world. I know it had a lot to do with how Ryan McCartan traded Dove Cameron off of camera and how he wanted their image to be perfect and seem untouchable. But I think that Ruby Rose Turner was the most beautiful person that I think I ever laid my eyes on. It had nothing to do with the color scheme of the character Bridget. It just had everything to do with how she exemplified kindness and did everything so flawlessly. Now, I know nobody out there is perfect. Everybody is far from perfect. Yours truly is far from perfect. But there was just something about Ruby and how she just came off as such a kind person that inspired me to want to be a better person. And I like to believe that I am a better person because of Ruby. You know, everything about how life is sweeter when you are, how you get more with sugar than you do with salt, how she was just so kind, and every single time somebody would doubt her in that movie, from scene to scene, she was always, hi, how are you? And the one friend that she had and trusted in so much, Ella, was her best friend. Morgan Dudley did such a fabulous job portraying her best friend, and the friendship between Ruby Rose Turner and Morgan Dudley was definitely put on display for all of us to be very eye-catching. I don't think there was ever a non-eye-catching moment with Descendants. I think everybody felt inspired at some point watching that whole 90-minute production. Now, I don't believe in the other critics out there that say that you can tell a story and complete it in 90 minutes because you really can't. That leaves the door open for chapter after chapter after chapter to be written for this thing. And that's why I think Jonathan Clarke needs to get in on the production team. He needs to sit at the head of the table at a board meeting and present his thoughts and ideas for the Descendants franchise. And it would literally blow your mind how creative my mind actually is and the creative energy that I can lend to the Descendants creative team, because I think it's been something that's been long overdue, and the only way Jonathan Clarke can get in on the action is by you hitting the subscribe button, which you would be very kind to do. You could spread your own message of kindness or show your own message of kindness by hitting the subscribe button for this YouTube channel. And to be honest with each and every one of you, thank you so much for having found my thumbnail, clicking on my thumbnail, and watching this video. I can't even begin to put into words how appreciative I am of each and every one of you for just how kind you are yourselves. Definitely Ruby Rose Turner is taking something away from all of you and taking a page out of your book because of how kind you are to everybody you know, and kind to me as the host of this YouTube channel, because you couldn't have accepted me at all. You could have watched my very first video that was uploaded last year and you could have walked away. But the cool thing is, some of my very first subscribers are still here and still believe in this YouTube channel just as much as what they did a year and a half ago. And to me, that means the world. There is so much that happens behind the scenes for this YouTube channel that you guys don't see. The installation of the reciprocal lights, all the editing of the videos, the podcast microphone installation, the programming of how the sound sounds. There is a whole lot that goes on behind the scenes for these videos, and each and every one of you have been a part of my life ever since this YouTube channel first kicked off. And to this very day, I can't even begin to put into words how incredibly supportive each and every one of you have been. That's why I am really excited about Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland. I love the title. I'm really going to miss Ruby, though, in this one. I know that Kiana Romero is coming in to play Pink, and she is going to do a fabulous job as the character Pink. I think it's going to present a lot of confliction. I think it's going to be really fun to watch. But I think that Jonathan Clarke could come in perhaps as the son of Hercules or the Prince Charming that Red falls in love with eventually, because she's supposed to get a love interest. at some point in the Descendants franchise. Oh, haven't we all? I think that every character in the Descendants franchise at one point or another has fallen in love with somebody on the set of it. And some real-life couples have been created because of it, like, of course, Dove Cameron and Thomas Doherty, who I'm not particularly fond of by how he treated Dove Cameron. And then, of course, there was Brenda D'Amico and her situation, and Kylie Cantrell more recently, just last year, going public about it on TikTok and how she believed her boyfriend didn't deserve to be talked about because of how controlling he was. I want the Descendants stars to know that life is very challenging sometimes, and it presents us with a lot of controversy, and perhaps in all of our own lives we are faced with a lot of controversy. Lord knows that I have had my fair share of controversy shown to me. Many of my relationships ended, unfortunately, because they couldn't make sense of why I fell in love with this franchise and why I fell so incredibly in love with this niche and was incredibly supportive of it. I was incredibly supportive of it because of just how unbelievable the fan support was and how everybody believed in it so much. I think this is the most powerful franchise to ever have a profound effect on someone's heart. And if there ever was a guy who fell in love with the franchise for how much it affected all of your lives and touched all of your hearts, it was this guy here. Because I had nothing. I had a few friends. I had a few really good friends, but I always believed that you didn't need a whole lot of friends to make it through life. All you needed were a few good friends that you could count on, and every time you looked over your shoulder, you knew they were going to be there for you for moral and emotional support. But after I fell into this niche, I found new purpose in life. You guys gave me initiative to create these videos for you, and that's all I ever wanted to do, was to spread a message of kindness on this podcast, and I like to believe that I did that through how I was able to create such beautiful videos. Now, you'll have to forgive me. I thought Ruby Rose Turner was so kind, and every night of my life, I wish Ruby was here to help me make sense of life. I think that throughout all of our lives, we search for that one companion that we know we can trust in, we can confide in, we can tell anything to, and trust our most deepest secrets with. And I like to believe that Ruby could have been that for me. I like to believe that Ruby was someone that I saw inspirational thoughts through and knew I could make it through life. If I had one good friend in life, I think it would be Ruby. Come to think of it, I think it would either have to be Ruby or all of you guys. Because when I had nobody to help me make sense of life, I knew I had this show. And that's why I put $5,000 behind this show, because I knew that even when I didn't have the support of my own family, I had each and every one of you. You know, one of the greatest challenges as a YouTube creator is creating videos that people find funny, people find fun to watch, people find engaging, and maintain the interest from the opening first few minutes of the video right until the climax is seen. And I like to believe that I created something very special and very unique that separates all these videos from every other video you will find about Descendants of Zombies on the internet, because pretty much all the videos really make no sense to me. I think that the Zombies franchise earlier this week did a fabulous job with their message of power, acceptance, all wrapped up in one. I think the Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires chapter was the most powerful chapter of the entire Zombies franchise to ever have been witnessed. And now we are teasing mermaids by the time we get to Zombies 5, and people are already creating Zombies 5 teaser trailers. I don't know if we should really buy into the Zombies 5 teaser trailers so early, 48 hours after the premiere of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, given how good it was. I wish you guys could refrain from watching these videos. I know several of you have clicked on it, and people now are creating thumbnails suggesting mermaids will see their introduction by the time we get to Zombies 5, whatever the title is, presumably. I don't doubt the fact that we will see mermaids see their introduction into the Zombies franchise. I don't doubt that at all. But hopefully by the time we see Zombies 5, you guys will have put up 1 million subscribers on this YouTube channel, and yours truly will be the creative director and or writer or producer of the Zombies franchise, and we can have something incredible happen for it. I love creating these videos for each and every one of you because I know how much it means to each and every one of you to find great videos on YouTube, which more times than enough is really hard to find, because it seems like every video on YouTube sounds the same. Every video promises you stuff about, it's really false hopes about Descendants and Zombies, and particularly now with all the focus being on zombies. And I want to take a moment to apologize to the Descendants fans who are watching my videos. And over the last couple of days, you've seen a lot of zombies videos popping up on my YouTube channel. I want to apologize for that. It was a real hectic week on this YouTube channel because, of course, Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires was premiering. I did a countdown show, which, by the way, I noticed had a lot of support, a lot of views, and it's this much closer to being recommended as one of my most highly recommended videos in my recommendation section on my YouTube channel, my popular video section. I'm expecting that to pop up any day. I didn't expect my Zombies Countdown show to receive such a huge response, but it happened because of each and every one of you and how much you believe that the chance of a zombie invasion is that much more real than perhaps any other commentator on YouTube who talks about this. Because I've seen a lot of the zombies reviews online, and a lot of them can't make sense of it, and if the review is anything, it's 15 minutes. I mean, you got to prepare. If you're preparing for a zombie apocalypse, you've got to do a video that is anywhere from an hour to possibly even 2 hours. I'd go 90 minutes. And that would be a satisfactory zombie apocalypse preparation video. But if it's not anything over 90 minutes, then I wouldn't buy into the suggestions people make to prepare yourself for a zombie apocalypse, you or your loved ones. So I want to say thank you to everybody who supported me for the fluctuation of zombies videos that showed up on this YouTube channel. There will be a lot more of those videos to come when I get around to doing it, and I know that we are a year away from Descendants 5: Wicked Wonderland, which is a movie that I really love the title of, and I'm really expecting big things to happen for the Descendants franchise. So what you've got to think about Descendants 5 is this. With Ruby seeing her exit, there's still the question that remains, will we see Ruby return if the concept of time travel finds its way back into the movie? It's not necessarily the end for Ruby, because I think the character Bridget was very short-lived, and be it that I've been crying myself to sleep every night since I found out Ruby wasn't going to be a part of Descendants 5 or the Worlds Collide tour. We need Ruby back into this thing, so that should give you even more incentive to hit my subscribe button to get me in as part of the creative team, as a creative director and or producer or writer for the Descendants franchise. The other question is Red just getting a sister for this one movie, or will we see Descendants 6, and will she have a bigger influence on the impact of the franchise by the time we see Descendants 6? One can only hope that we will see more of an involvement with these characters if we do see another chapter written following the fallout from Descendants 5. That is what all the other critics will say to you, hoping to shut down your hopes that we will see a Descendants 6. But the thing is, I am telling you right now, with all these new characters coming in, much less Pink and her involvement in this franchise in its entirety, because we are seeing all these new characters for the first time ever, it is being done to secure the future of the Descendants franchise. Remember how they were introducing all these new characters, Malachi Burton and Freya Skye, Nova and Victor, to secure the future of the Zombies franchise, and that teaser we saw within the last 90 seconds to 2 minutes of the Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires movie. It opened up the door for people to create a lot of trailers on YouTube and create a lot of suspicion and raise the ire for a lot of questions. Did it not? But I'm here to confirm all of your questions. We will see Zombies 5. Whether or not we see mermaids, I can't confirm that, but obviously the tidal wave of that creature coming up out of the water would suggest that we could possibly see it. Also, I'm saying this because this is the same thing being done for Descendants now with all these characters. We are seeing this happen with Pink seeing her introduction as Red's sister. Red possibly seeing a new love interest, which could be Ace, if we were to believe what was written in the Descendants books, a total of 9 of them, 4 of them finding their way to the top of the New York Times bestseller list. They would not be introducing all these new characters if they didn't expect to expand the franchise and expect it to blow up. Kind of like this YouTube channel. I never ever expected this YouTube channel to explode in popularity the way that it has. For the life of me, I still don't know. It's beyond my wildest imagination how you guys are finding these videos and clicking on my thumbnail and watching the video, and then hitting the subscribe button, which I can't emphasize enough that you do. It is very important that you hit the subscribe button, because when you hit the subscribe button, the YouTube algorithm recognizes that, and YouTube rewards this YouTube channel and its success. Because for every single person who hits that subscribe button, which I can only wish for every single person that will watch these videos, they would run their finger over that subscribe button. The YouTube algorithm recognizes that, and it pushes these videos that much further out there into the sea. So your phones pretty much serve as a beacon of light. So someone else who appreciates this content can find these videos, find time in appreciating it, and hit the subscribe and the like buttons. Not enough of that can happen on this YouTube channel, because I am very appreciative of the fans who do find time and hitting my subscribe button. I love creating the thumbnails. I love photoshopping your favorite Descendants stars. What I don't love seeing is all the criticism they are receiving for the relationships off of camera with stars on the set of Descendants or Zombies, all the rumors that are spun off of what we've already seen, what has yet to happen, what could possibly happen by the time we see a conclusion to the franchise, which I think is a long way away from happening, be it that now Milo Manheim and Meg Donnelly will be producers of this. And one could suggest that we could see Claudia Cantrell or even Dove Cameron return as a producer for Descendants. While that's a long way away from happening, with how much of an opportunity we could see happen for the Descendants franchise, I am really looking forward to seeing more happen for it because of how much each and every one of you appreciate it so much. You appreciate it perhaps more than anybody out there. The fans are what's making all of this happen, and I really, really appreciate that you guys have never quit on what you believed in, and you believed the message so much for Descendants that we have seen so many chapters written for this franchise more than any other franchise in the history of Disney. And that there's no argument for that, because High School Musical was one of the most popular franchises in Disney's history. That is without a doubt. I saw every chapter of High School Musical. I was the biggest High School Musical and Hannah Montana fan out there, and perhaps an even bigger fan of High School Musical than I ever was Hannah Montana. And that is a huge statement for me to make because I was a huge fan of Hannah Montana as well. If there was one guy who supported Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus's journey, it was me. I followed every chapter of it, every aspect of it, and I don't regret ever having done that. And I went as far as to being the only guy in the movie theater for a Hannah Montana or a Miley Cyrus movie. The last song, the Hannah Montana movie, I was there through it all. I had my trademark leather jacket on. If I was the one guy in the movie theater with 100 girls, I didn't see anything wrong with that. And hey, if I've got 100 girls subscribed to this YouTube channel, I also don't see anything wrong with that. Girls are cool. You're what makes everything make sense in this world, or at least helps make everything make sense in this world. There's some idiot guy living in the world, and I can't thank you enough. I have a profound amount of thanks and honor to express towards you and throw your way, because you're what makes everything make sense in this world. So if you could take a moment to hit my subscribe button, I would really appreciate it, because you're not going to find any other guy on YouTube creating as many Descendants and Zombies videos for you, which I really do love doing. You know, when I went away for 4.5 months when I couldn't create these videos because some stuff got in the way, I really wanted to come back. I felt like I wasn't ready to go 4.5 months ago. After a lot of things conflicted in my life, and then about 7.5 years ago, after I had thought I had recorded my final podcast, you guys saved my life. You brought me back from out of obscurity, and I can't thank you enough for that. I know now that this YouTube channel will stand the test of time. It will help me further my legacy as one of the greatest of all time, and I know because of each and every one of you, I will undoubtedly go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. Although 1,710 subscribers, we've still got a long way to go. We can get, or 2,710 subscribers, I'm sorry. 2,710 subscribers is still a long way to go. And I want to see as many people hitting the subscribe button as possible. So if you could help me out with that, I would greatly appreciate that, because I love when I see my subscribers going up all the time on this YouTube channel. And I think that the more subscribers we see and can put up on this YouTube channel, it will obviously affect the algorithm, but there is somebody out there who loves this content just as much as what you do and is looking for a friend. And I think that I have an incredible group of people who have subscribed to this YouTube channel that could lend them that friend that they want. Because as I said, your phone is a beacon of light, and I'm very appreciative that you guys are here. You know, $5,000 is a lot to spend on a YouTube channel between when you talk about professional studio microphones, a $500 camera, reciprocal lights, all these stuffies, the game chair, it all adds up. The laptop, the production software. I don't regret having done it. It's been an incredible journey of mine. And I don't know about you guys, but I will never forget the profound effect that Zombies and Descendants has had on my heart. It's been a profound effect that I will never ever forget, a significant impact on my heart, and believe you me, my heart has been broken more times than I've ever chosen to admit over this podcast microphone by people where I don't even know where they are in life now. And I've been caught up in some of the most ridiculous situations, but ultimately at the end of every situation that I've ever gotten myself out of, you guys were all I ever had left, the fans of Descendants and Zombies. You don't like seeing anybody be hurt. You don't like to see anybody who needs help. And when you can offer that help to somebody, you're always there to offer love and support. And for that, I can't thank you enough. I think that this story is far from over. It really is far from over. There are so many chapters that have left to be written in this. I've studied folk literature for forever. And just as sure as the sun is peeking in through my window right now, as you can see it off the posters there, I know we still have a long way to go, but that does not mean that we can't get there. We will see chapter after chapter written for this. And if you guys hit my subscribe button, I will write you so many chapters that it will blow your mind. You have no idea how much of a creative mind I have and how much creative energy I can lend to this franchise, because all I've ever wanted to do is create for each and every one of you and create endlessly. Because you can have a franchise and sign them all up for 3 movies and then say goodbye Meg, goodbye Milo, goodbye Kylie, goodbye Amila. The thing is, if you're really passionate about what you believe in so much, then you can keep coming back for a 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and 8th installment. You don't really have to buy into all these other podcasts out there that are trying to doubt your hopes of Descendants going further than what it already has. I know that fairy tale, I like to believe, I may not know, but I like to believe that fairy tales last eternally in all of our hearts, just as sure as I know the words I love you are in every constellation of stars you look at every night. And if you don't believe me, perhaps you should take a little closer look at the stars tonight, and you will see the words I love you written in them. Everybody deserves to be happy in this lifetime, and I think that's what Descendants and Zombies has tried to desperately distill in all of our hearts from the very first Descendants all the way back in 2015. Which reminds me, I've got that Anniversary Descendants compilation coming up on this YouTube channel, and I do invite you to be a part of that. And ever before that is the birthday of Meg Donnelly. I believe she's going to be 25. That will happen on July 25th. So we've got a lot of stuff happening on this YouTube channel. I just found out today that Freya Sky's birthday has to be added into the birthday calendar because her birthday is October 17th, and that will come the day after Ruby Rose Turner's birthday. So we've got a lot to talk about on this YouTube channel and a lot to commemorate, and I just hope that you're going to join me for that. It would be an honor for you to run your finger across the subscribe button, because there is no better time to do that than right now. Honestly, guys, you're the best friends that any podcast or host could ever have, or any podcast just in general could ever have. I've always loved how Meg Donnelly has asked the host of shows, how did you get into podcasting? You know, I wish more than ever Meg Donnelly would call me up and ask me that same question she's asked to 100 podcast hosts out there that probably, I know, are more famous than me, but that doesn't mean that I can't get there, because I'm the most famous of all of my friends on social media. But that would have never happened if not for each and every one of you. I mean, I've got this one friend who blows shit up on his JR Science YouTube channel. I've got this other girl, her name is Balana Goodyear, and she posts these videos, these cringy videos on YouTube. She's got 300,000 views, but I'm outperforming her with subscribers. She hasn't posted a video in a year. I wouldn't be in this position if not for each and every one of you. So to help me kick Josh and Balana's ass, what you could do is hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it if you would. Because I believe in every dream that everybody's ever wanted to achieve in this life coming true. I believe that fairy tales do exist, happily ever after, last forever. And I believe the powerful message of Descendants and Zombies is one that will forever live eternally in all of our hearts. And that is, you are sweeter when life is sweet to you, and that you get more with sugar than you do salt. And undoubtedly life is sweeter when you all are. And I know you have that kindness in your heart, and I know you're just waiting to let it out. And I will discuss this tomorrow on my podcast when I talk about it, perhaps tomorrow night, that there is never enough kindness seen in this world. And the more kindness you give to people, and the more you can stand up and show people respect, like I know you all do, even though sometimes more people than often enough will never admit to how challenging it may be to do that. I know they even make an effort to do it. But the more kind you can be to people, the better this world is going to be, because it's never the world, it's the people that make the difference and the significant impact and leave the forever imprint on our hearts that makes this world that much more special and allows it to revolve. I've often said girls are the only thing that ever makes sense. And you'll have to forgive me because I'm a real sweetheart. I would love to have you be a part of this community, be a part of this channel. Please hit the subscribe button and stay here for forever and talk about Descendants and Zombies with me and share in this passion that's brought us all together. It would be an honor of mine to have you be a part of this YouTube channel and be one of my greatest fans. Thank you so much for having made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies. It has been a true honor of mine to be able to create these videos for each and every one of you. With that having been said, I've got another great Descendants video for us all to watch, so if you get a moment, please hit my subscribe button.
Now, obviously, we have a lot to talk about Descendants, but I understand that one of you went to Disney World for the first time recently.
Ooh, I did!
I'm a Disney Parks freak, so I want to hear all about it.
I was obsessed with it. Yeah, it was my family's dream to go there. I remember growing up and we were like, we'll just skip Christmas and then we'll go to Disney World and it'll be great. And it was this thing of like when my younger sister, she's 14 now, but when she turns 10 and she can actually be conscious and remember it, we'll go. But no, this job got me there, so it was such a dream to take the family. It was magical.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
And I imagine you've been?
I have been, yes. It's so magical. I was telling Malia all about it. I was like, you have to go on the Avatar
I know,
ride.
she
It's my
guided me
favorite.
through everything. I know, we did the Tiana ride there. You guys went for treats. So
well, you got
much
the
fun.
you got the new with
You got
that
the
one.
new one.
The new
No,
new.
it's so much fun. You're gonna have to go on it.
That was a really cool video. I love seeing Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker having so much fun. I love seeing the entire Descendants cast, the entire franchise having so much fun. So if you could be a dear and hit my subscribe button, be a real sweetheart and hit my subscribe button, I would really appreciate that, because then I can create for you guys in ways that only your wildest imaginations can take you out to dreamland because of. I would love to be a part of Descendants and Zombies, the whole franchise as a whole, and just bring it to life for you in a way that nobody else could ever do it. You know, I'm going to miss Meg Donnelly and Mila Manheim being a part of the Zombies franchise. I forever miss Dove Cameron. I know for the rest of my life and my existence I'm going to miss Ruby Rose Turner. But that doesn't mean we can't take this franchise beyond limits. That doesn't mean we can't expand this franchise in the way it was meant to be expanded. But I can't do it without each and every one of you. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel. I honestly don't know where I would be tonight. Or every day of my life, for the rest of my life, without each and every one of you, because you could be watching anybody else's YouTube channel, soaking in their Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel, but you're here on this YouTube channel because you have made me gotta do this for you. The voice of Descendants and Zombies. Oh yeah! Gotta turn this down. Thank you so much for having made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies, apparently. It is a huge honor to have bestowed upon me and a huge responsibility. This is what's made me famous overnight on YouTube, and it means the world to me. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you to all of you for being such sweethearts and hitting my subscribe button. Please continue to do it, because the more subscribers I put up on this YouTube channel, the more excited I'm going to be. And to let you in a little secret, I love when I see all my subscribers going up from 2,710 to possibly 5 million overnight. Thank you so much. I love you all dearly. We will do this again tomorrow night.